Good evening, everyone. It is I, Eibbor Nanahcub. Try to turn the volume down a little bit. We're a little loud. It's been a little bit since I've done this, but welcome back to another very special video. That's right, we're back yet again. It's been a long time, but we're back once more with the few girls that I accidentally missed because of my computer dying last night. But today is the Hikawa twins' birthday, and more importantly, today is Sayo's birthday, because these are the top 5 reasons why Sayo is the best girl. So let's just get on started with number 5. Costumes. Alright, so starting off like we always do, just like we're back in the swing, we're starting off the same way. Costumes are always going to be kind of on the lower end of things, because, you know, it's like I said, unless they're the ones that make the costumes, like Rinko or Arisa and Rimi, like, they do collaborative stuff, but you know what I mean, like, unless they're like, or Toko, that's right, Toko does designs. I gotta think about that now, we gotta get ready for that. But yeah, unless that's what they do, it's gonna be a little low, it's gonna be lowest on the list. But Sayo's had some bangers, man. Sayo's had some really cool outfits as of recently, and they're always just like, okay, yeah, top tier, yep, top tier, yeah, It's always hard to judge because I don't know anything about fashion, so yeah, I'm just like, ooh, pretty, it's pretty. But yeah, Sayo's always got a good way to pull it off, and she's always got that diligent, not diligent, what's the, dignified, that's what I'm looking for, the dignified kind of look to her. She's very serious, very, like, in the moment and ready to do stuff, can still look very peaceful, happy, but can look serious at the same time. She can pull it off really well, so it looks really good. But, moving on to our next one. Number 4. Guitar skills. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Eibbor, why is this so low? Why is this so low for Sayo? Because, you know, Sayo's in Rosalia, one of the hardest pounding groups for practice and being perfect. So why is Sayo's guitar playing only at number 4? Well, that's because, to be entirely honest, out of all the guitar players in Bang Dream itself, Sayo's probably near the second to last, actually. I hate to say it because I love Sayo, but, and unfortunately, Kaoru's probably the lowest out of, like, everybody's good. Do not take this as me saying that Kaoru's a bad guitarist or Sayo's a bad guitarist, but compared to some of the geniuses we have in Bang Dream, like Tai, Mocha, Raka, or Hina, speaking of which, it's kind of hard to be like, yeah, Sayo's out there. She's good. She's great. She does so much good work for Rosalia. And she's only gotten better, man, because that's what my main thing was. Because in the beginning, Rosalia didn't really have any solos in their songs. I'm like, what the heck? What's up with that? But now we've come to the point where we've had solos about all over the place for Rosalia, and I'm down with that. Sayo's more or less, she fits the role that she's needed to play in Rosalia. She's not something to be flashy and show off. She lays down the ground rules with her guitar playing and makes sure things fit for the whole scene that the music's trying to set up. So Sayo does her job perfectly. Whenever she gets a little flary solo part, there you go. Because I think Neo Aspect was like the first solo I'd heard from Sayo, I think. Did Ringing Bloom come out before Neo Aspect? I'm not sure. No, because Firebird would have come out before Neo Aspect. So I think Neo Aspect was the first time I've heard Sayo do a solo. I could be wrong, but, you know. And I don't consider like the little lead lines to be solo. Solo's like where you have a selected spot where you just go in it and it's your moment to shine. Like, Sayo has good lead lines, which is a lot of octave chords, but she never really had any solos till around Neo Aspect, in my opinion. I could be entirely wrong. People be like, no, Eibbor, look at this song. Can you hear this one little 2-second little lick she does? I'm like, yeah, it's a lick, not a solo. So, man. Sorry, guitar player rambling about guitar stuff. But yeah, again, Sayo is no way, no shape, no form bad at guitar. It's just, compared to some of her other stuff, it's down here. But, moving on to our next one. Number 3. Singing voice. Now this one is one that's up here, and it surprised me when I first heard it, because Sayo herself is very reserved, very, like, held back. She is one that's very like to herself. She wants to say what she's gonna say. That's it. She doesn't usually get caught up. Well, more recently she is a little bit, and that's a nice thing. She's getting a little bit more loose in her ways. I'm down with that. But her original like rigid, like very down to earth, like we're going to do this, 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 and this, and that's all I need to say. I didn't expect her to come out and be like a really good singer, but I've been proved wrong, because it's just great that everyone in Rosalia has a great singing voice, and it's just nice to hear. And Sayo's like a good spin off of Yukina, because Firebird's like my biggest thing, where they all have the little trading part. Yukina's voice is so distinctive. It's a cool trade to hear that Sayo has almost the same kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like kind of like sound or like body of voice. You know, like the tenor, the tenor of, what's the word I'm looking for? Timbre, sorry. The timbre of voice is almost like the same, but it's a little bit of a twist, and you can hear Sayo's kind of like the little flair that her voice has, but it's a good contrast. And just everybody else has a great one for that one. But it's not too like pitchy, not pitchy, but it's not too unique where you know exactly that that's Sayo, but it's not too close or homogenous that it's just like, oh, it gets blended into Yukina's voice. No, it sticks out just enough, it does its work, but it blends in enough that it sounds great compared with Yukina. So yeah, she's got a great voice. Again, Firebird's the main one I go to, and it's just great to hear. And just, I hope she gets more singing parts. Or maybe more of the later stuff I haven't listened to yet, because Rosalia just popping songs out left and right, just bam, 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 and I haven't been able to get around to all of them, but just Firebird's my main go-to, and I love it to death. But yeah, hopefully Sayo gets more singing parts in the future. But let's move on to our next one. Number 2. Personality. Okay, so now here's where we're gonna get a little bit on the, not controversial, but I may upset some people, because this is the one I wanted to talk about. It's almost was number 1 if it wasn't the fact that I always do a funny one as the last one, because it's always gotta have some levity in this stuff. But Sayo's personality is something that's been the most dramatic change throughout the whole series. There are other characters that have really great changes too, but Sayo's been number 1 on my list. And why is that? I didn't like Sayo. When I first met Sayo, I did not like Sayo. I actually hated Sayo, because she was just annoying. Her and Yukina both. When I first played this game, I was annoyed by both of them. And it's just because, now let me hear me out through all this. I know some of you probably just tapping away on the keyboard like, what, Eibbor hated Sayo and Yukina, how dare. No. It was because of how totalitarian they were about their band. There was no room for fun, no room for friends. It was just, we are bandmates, that's it. We do not, it's a business relation basically. They treated it like that. And Sayo was the most. Yukina was still kind of like in her own air, where she was like, Lisa could bring her back, could reel her in if Yukina got a little too off kilter. But Sayo was just like, she would yell at Lisa originally, like too, not yell, but she would get on Lisa sometimes. And it's like, I did not like her. I did not like Sayo at first. She was irritating. Every time, I didn't even finish Rosalia's band story, I remember. The first band story was the last one I did for Rosalia, because I was just like, I don't want to hear about these girls just riffing on the other 3 that actually want to be in a band. But slowly, and just slowly, and it's what makes it a good turn for me, Sayo slowly came out of her shell and cracked that hard, cold exterior. That, and the fact, I want to say, was in fact due to Hina, mainly more than anything. It was Rosalia that helped a lot too, but Hina was the main thing that really bothered me about Sayo. It's how, I understand what she was going from, I understand what she was going through. Sayo was dealing with the fact that Hina was a genius. Hina could do anything, and Sayo was just getting overshadowed by her younger sister. It's a twin, but Hina always called her older sister, so yeah. But yeah, Sayo was just being pressured and just felt just useless because Hina could do anything she put her mind to. So whenever Hina started on the guitar, Sayo got really angry and really just focused. She wanted to be better than Hina, and that's not possible because Hina's just naturally gifted at anything she tries. And just, she was outwardly just was cold and harsh towards Hina, but that's where things came around, because Sayo just slowly and surely just built her way out of her shell with the help of Rosalia and Hina. There are the others from the other bands to help along too, but the main ones were Rosalia and Hina, slowly bringing her to a more warm place, a more happy place with herself. She's not in this area of, I have to be better, I need to do this, I need to prove myself. It's more or less now that she is part of Rosalia. She is the whole of Rosalia, with not the whole of it, but she's part of the whole of Rosalia, and she can be happy with that. And her and Heen are on are walking a path separate from each other, but together. And that's a great way to look at it. Sayo's come so far, and I'm sorry if I'm rambling a lot. It's gonna be a longer video because I always wanted to talk about this. But Sayo's come so far and done so many new things because of her change of mind and heart. It's great. It was a great thing to see her come from this character that I literally outright hated. I literally only liked Rosalia's music because I was irritated by every time that Sayo or Yukina got on the screen. Yukina was not as much, because Yukina was just more like the overwatching, like, what do you think you're doing kind of look, but she's gotten better too. But Sayo was always there to be like the party pooper. She was always annoying to me, but now she's come around to be one of my favorites because she's like Lisa. She's literally taken up the mantle that Lisa is. She's basically Rosalia's second mother. Lisa's the fun one. Sayo's the serious one. She'll be nice and kind whenever she needs to, but whenever things need to get done, Sayo's on it. And she treats that as a comedy thing. Not comedy, but like as a little bit of levity with that. She's the straight man of the band, and that's great, because you can just kind of just now reduce down to Lisa's little plaything. No, just because Lisa likes to give her trouble. But yeah, it's just great to see. Sayo's come a long way, and she's my favorite part of Bang Dream now. No. I say favorite part, but you know what I mean. Like, she's become one of my favorite characters in Bang Dream. I love them all, but Sayo's come so far and shown that there can be good development even with 35 band members as a focus. And I love that. It's great. But now moving on to our last one. And number one. All right. Enough of my big old sap spree. I know I went on a little bit long there. I'm sorry, guys. But despite all of Sayo's serious nature and intense practicing, there's one thing that can break her focus and even destroy her in a Rosalia practice session, and that's the potato. Yeah, French fries. Of all things, French fries tears Sayo down. I know it's more of a new thing because I'm pretty sure they never mentioned it in any of the band stories until Pico came around and had that episode. And I don't care if it's only from that. I'm taking it and I'm running with it because they've continued to do it too. Because I love it. I love it to death. And that's the one thing that can break Sayo's focus. I know it was supposed to be hindered on the twin link thing, but also at the same time, you're gonna have the fact that Sayo literally is being mind controlled by the power of potatoes. It's just great. I love it. I love how you have one of the most serious characters in the series, and it's just like, welp. It's kind of like Yukina with her cats thing. Just, welp, there's French fries, Sayo. What you gonna do? It's just like the the little comic where Sayo orders a large order of fries, and just like Marvani's like, yo, she's surely not gonna eat that by herself, and just she ate it by herself. Oh, I love it. It's just great. I love that kind of stuff. Because, again, you can't just have a character who's straight-laced, crazy, serious all the time. That's why they warmed her up, which is really great. But they also gave her a little bit of comedic relief. I love that. I love that to death. Oh, but yeah. Oh, just bring fries to Sayo. Sayo's just like, I can't. Oh, Lord. But yeah, it's just great. But I think that'll do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We're back on it with the birthday videos. I'm going to get these last 6, I do believe. Last 6 taken care of. And then we'll get back into the swing. Maybe, just maybe, I'll have an announcement on our last catch-up birthday video. Even though I've already said it kind of already. But hey, you didn't see it. You didn't hear what I'm talking about. But yeah. Once again, glad we get to celebrate Sayo's birthday today. And don't worry, Enos is coming right after this. Do not worry. I'm going to try and put them out at the same time, actually. But, yeah. Sayo's been one of my favorite characters in the series to come around so far. Kaoru's there because Kaoru's just Kaoru. But Sayo's been one of my favorite ones to come around because everybody's got their kind of little arcs that they've had. Like Misaki coming to love Hello Happy World and become a friend with Michelle. And just, I can't think of anyone's right now. My brain is just flaking out. But yeah, just like, everyone's had an arc. But Sayo's had the most important one to me. Because, again, Sayo originally was my most hated character in this game. I did not like Sayo. I liked her guitar, which also made me, like, just generally just I don't want to give my attention to you because you're annoying. But now she's like literally one of my favorites. Anytime Sayo's on the screen, I'm like, ooh, what's Sayo got to say? What do we got? It's so much to the point where I literally had to go and just spark for her birthday card. Like, that's what, after I got Hina in the gotcha video, I was like, nope, I gotta have both the twins. If I'm gonna have one, I gotta have the other. And Sayo was just, I had to go for it. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So yeah, that's how much Sayo means to me now. It's just, Sayo's great. But, until next time, guys, I'll see ya.